All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to You Need Balance. I'm Skylar, and today we are going to focus on opening up the chest and the front of our body to prepare for back bends, which can be really energizing. And also, every day, gravity is pulling us forward, so we're always sort of hunching forward. And so we're going to help open up and lengthen the front body muscles and strengthen the back body muscles. So today you might need a block or a strap or something to use for modifications. Also, just make sure you have enough floor space and a cushioned floor space. So if you don't have a mat, get a blanket or a towel because we will be doing some movements on the knees. So you want to make sure you have enough cushion so you're not squishing down on your knees. And after that, once you're all set, let's just go ahead and get started. And we are going to start on our backs today. And when you first lay down, I just want you to take note on how you're feeling. Pay attention to what you were thinking about today. Did you notice that you had some tension in your low back, maybe between the shoulder blades? And just sort of press your back into the ground, maybe rock your legs side to side and just loosen up your back a little bit. And see if you're feeling more stress on the right or the left. And just take your time adapting to the ground. So hopefully you have gone pretty consistent with your exercise routines with these 45-minute classes. Even if you don't take your lunch break at noon and are ready to take the live class right away, we will save the recordings for you to take so that you can really develop a routine that fits your schedule. So make sure you put it on your calendar at a couple of times a week. Give yourself a goal so that you are continually progressing to be the best version of yourself. So let's start on your back with your feet flat on the ground. And first, I just want you to bring your hands to your hips. And you're going to inhale and arch your back away from the ground. So you should be able to slide your hands underneath your low back, even though your upper back and your hips are still on the ground. Anterior pelvic tilt. And then exhale and try to smush your hands down into the ground, posterior pelvic tilt, like you're pulling your belly button, tucking your tailbone. Okay, so the hands are only here just so you can really feel like you're squeezing your back to the ground. On your next inhale, arch your back away, take your hands out and put them on your hips. See if you can find your pelvic girdle, those hip bones. And then exhale, now try to push your back into the ground. Notice if you can identify how your pelvis is tilting. Imagine a bowl and you're tilting it forward and back. Inhale as you arch your back away from the ground. And exhale as you push your back down into the ground. So if you have been working on your back bends for any reason at all, part of that is controlling your pelvic tilt so you can arch your back a little bit more and encourage a healthy spine if you can control your pelvic tilt in both directions a little bit more. And then there's also lateral and transverse, but we're just going to focus on flexion and extension today, forward and back. And on your last exhale, really press your back into the ground and try to hold it there. Now put your hands on your rib cage. Still keeping your back flat on the ground, I want you to breathe. Take a deep breath in. Notice how your rib cage expands, but your back is still pushing down into the ground, so you're not losing that control. And exhale, close the rib cage, again, pushing your back into the ground. So even though you're breathing, you don't have to completely let go and arch your back. See if you can control your pelvic tilt as you're breathing here. We're starting off this practice connecting the mind to the body. So I don't know where you're coming from, but try to just get yourself in tune here. It takes a little bit sometimes to just reset your mind, get yourself in the environment that you are now focusing on yourself. You're focusing on your body. So see if you can get rid of all of those distractions. Identify if your mind starts to wander and try to bring right back to your breath and to your core, engaging your core, okay? And if this is part of your consistent exercise routine, then great job. If you're already partway through the week and this is your first exercise of the week, then make yourself a goal to put it on your calendar and treat it just like a really important work meeting. Schedule the number of workouts that is realistic to you and stay to it. Okay, so hopefully by now you're feeling your core, you're feeling your back pushing into the ground. Now I want you to hug your knees into your chest and curl your forehead up to your knees. And then stretch your arms and legs out wide and arch your back away from the ground. We're going to try that one more time. Exhale, curl up into a tight ball as you push your back down into the ground. And inhale, stretch out nice and long as you arch your back away from the ground. Now, go ahead and straighten out your legs. Point your toes up to the sky so that your feet are flexed. And you're going to take a deep breath in one more time. And exhale, pull your belly button in as you sit all the way up and reach for your toes. Think about pulling your chest closer to your knees as you stretch out the back of your hamstrings. And then slowly release the hands. We're going to come all the way over onto all fours. So from all fours, we're just going to start with some cat-cow, which is the beginning of a back bend. Inhale, as you drop your belly down, look forward. Think about lifting your chest forward and pulling your shoulders back. Imagine the back bend, the shape, the curve occurring in your spine. And exhale, as you reverse the curve, pulling your belly button in, tucking your chin and your tailbone. And slowly following your breath. Again, this might be slow, but I want you to really try to imagine the shape that you're making with your body. Can you control each individual movement as you slowly increase the curve in both directions? Inhale as you look forward for cow. Exhale as you round through the back for cat. And then slowly come to neutral spine. Find the middle, what feels like neutral to you. And then you're just going to walk your hands forward and slowly let the hips come down to the ground. And if that feels really intense for you, walk your hands a little bit further forward and let the hips come down to the ground. See how far you have to go in order to arch up. And then very slowly let your chest come down to the ground. You're going to bring your arms out to the side, cactus arms. So there's a slight bend in the elbow. And then very slowly bring your left hand back to right underneath your left shoulder. Push your left hand into the ground and start to roll over onto your right side. And then under control, use your core to slowly roll back and switch arms. Left arm goes out to a cactus. Right hand comes underneath the right shoulder. And very slowly push yourself onto your side. And switch yourself back. We're going to do that one more time on each side. So we're very slowly opening up the chest and the front of the shoulder. And what you should be thinking about here is in the back bend. So we're going to do Ustrasana, camel posture. It's really a great chest and shoulder opener as well, even though the main focus is a back bend. The idea is to take the entire body and fold it backwards to reverse that forward pull of gravity. So let's bring the hands underneath the shoulder, and you're going to inhale, lift up into cobra just as high as you can. If you're not ready for a full cobra, then just listen to your body. Slowly come back down. Bring your hands out a little bit further, and this time, if you want, you can try tenting your fingertips, lifting the palms off the ground. And then we're going to do a rolling cobra. Inhale as you keep the chin tucked, and slowly lift up all the way into cobra, and let your head be the last to come down. Let's try that one more time. Rolling cobra. Keep the chin tucked. Lift up. Cobra. Exhale. Let the head be the last to come back down. Beautiful. Now we're going to bring the hands out just a little bit wider and think about bending the elbows out to the side. So as you come down, you should feel a little chest opener. Inhale as you lift up to cobra. Exhale, bend the elbows out wide. Pull your chest forward as you come down. Feel that nice stretch. We're going to try that one more time. Inhale up. Exhale, elbows out wide. Feel that stretch in the chest. And then you're going to bring your hands back underneath your shoulders and exhale as you push your hips back to child's pose. Deep breath in and deep breath out. Inhale forward to all fours, and now we'll work on twisting and rotating the spine. Left hand behind the head. Exhale to rotate the elbow down. Inhale to lift out and up. Exhale down. Inhale up. See if your eyes can follow the left elbow. As you lift out and up, see how far you can twist without shifting your hips. You're trying to keep your hips stable. And then your right hand is just working on pushing your chest away from the ground. We're going to do one more on this side. And then exhale to release. Let's switch hands. Left hand on the ground. Right hand behind the head. Exhale to rotate down. And inhale, out and up. Exhale down. Inhale, out and up. Exhale down. Inhale, out and up. Exhale down. Feel that twist. Make sure you're breathing. We have one more on this side. See if you can twist as far as you can. And slowly come back down. Exhale all the way back into child's pose. This time, walk your hands over to the right. Cross your left wrist over your right wrist and have that nice stretch down the side. And then very slowly release that left arms. Come all the way over to the left. And now your right wrist is going to cross over your left as you stretch through the side. And then inhale all the way back to all fours. The next important piece of the back bend is to have a strong core, especially when we're coming out of Ustrasana. So we want to make sure we can engage the core to keep our spine supported. So from all fours, press your hands away from you, pull your belly button in, and you're going to inhale, lengthen your opposite limbs away from each other. Exhale, crunch elbow to knee. Stay on the same side. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, elbow to knee. Try to find your balance. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, elbow to knee. Two more. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, elbow to knee. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. And then we'll come all the way back down to switch sides. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale. And exhale. That's it. We're almost there. Keep pushing yourself away from the ground. Last one. And down. Hands down. We'll peel the hips up to the sky for the first downward dog. Press your hips up. Make sure your hands are evenly pressing into the ground. And then inhale, look forward, rise up on your toes, bend your knees, and step up to the front, all the way up to your hands. And if you can't reach the ground, then just bend your knees until you can. Deep breathing, deep breath in, and deep breath out. And then try wrapping your arms around the back of your legs, if you can, just to pull yourself a little bit closer. And then slowly release the arms and stand up, one vertebra at a time as you roll your shoulder blades back and let the head be the last to come up. Now we're standing up nice and tall. Bring the hands to your back. Now we're going to inhale, lift your chest. Try to pinch your elbows back together as you arch back. And then exhale, bend your knees, tuck your tailbone and round forward. Inhale, lift your chest, pull the elbows back like they're trying to touch behind you. And exhale, bend the knees, round forward. One more time. Inhale, lift your chest, pull the shoulders back. Maybe you can get a little bit further this time. And then exhale, bend your knees, round forward. Let the arms come all the way down to the ground. Inhale to look forward, lengthen your spine. Exhale to plant your hands, step back into plank. Let's hold plank here. Make sure the core is engaged. Feel your hands evenly pressing into the ground. And very slowly, we're going to bend the elbows and start to lower the entire body down onto your belly. But see how slow you can go. Once you're down there, inhale, press up to cobra just as high as you can. And exhale, downward dog. Walk out your feet a little bit, just shaking it out, bending one leg and then the other. And then come to stillness in your downward facing dog. Inhale, look forward, rise up on the toes, bend the knees, and step all the way up to the top of your space. And exhale, fold your chest a little bit closer to your thighs. Inhale, rise up nice and tall. Tuck your tailbone at the top, reach up nice and long. And exhale, release your arms back down. Beautiful. Let's bring the hands back to you, the back of your hips. Again, we'll try that flow a little bit more intensely now. Inhale, lift your chest, pull your elbows back to touch together. Exhale, bend your knees, fold forward. Bring your fingertips down to the ground. Straighten out your legs if you can. Inhale to look forward, lengthen your spine. Exhale to plant your hands, step back into plank, and you can choose a full chaturanga dandasana here if you would like. Inhale, upward dog. If you want to take it the next step further. Now, go ahead and slowly lower your chest down to the ground. And you're going to hamstring curl your left leg and then release it back down. And now try a right leg. Hamstring curl. Squeeze that hamstring. Good. Release. And now try the left leg again. See if you can reach back with your left arm. Maybe you can easily reach for the toes. If not, then you're going to want to have a strap here so that you can wrap it around and then you can grab onto your strap to pull your foot a little bit closer. Go ahead and release that. Let's try the right side now. Hamstring curl the right side. See if you can reach back for the toes. Just see how close you are. Maybe you can reach one side, but you can't reach the other. And again, use your strap there or your rope or your towel in order to help get you a little bit closer. Okay, so now we know where we are with reaching for our feet. Let's go ahead and tuck the toes under and exhale. See if you can push yourself back up to high plank and then downward dog. Inhale, look forward, rise up on the toes, bend the knees, and step all the way up to the top of your space. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise up nice and tall again. Squeeze the glutes at the top. Reach your arms up high. Exhale, release. Your glutes are going to be so important in keeping your spine strong in our back bends. Inhale, bend your knees. Tuck your tailbone. Sweep your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, look forward and lengthen. Exhale, plant your hands, step back into plank. Chaturanga dandasana, your choice here. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, left heel swivels down as the right foot steps between the hands and we'll rise up into warrior one. And from here, see if you can arch back just a little bit more outside of the typical upright warrior one. And then exhale, warrior two. Now we're upright again. And now we're just going to do a little lateral flexion as we reverse into a peaceful warrior. Right hand switching and reaching right back behind you. Feel that length through the side body. Exhale, cart with the hands all the way down, framing out that front foot. Low lunge. And then reach your right fingertips up to the sky as you twist towards your right knee. Exhale, hands come back down, step back into plank, and you can choose your version of vinyasa here. You can always use child's pose if you need it. And think about getting balanced through your body. On your next inhale, the right heel swivels down, left foot steps through, rising up into this warrior one. From here, see if you can just take a nice little back bend. And exhale, open up, warrior two. Inhale, left palm flips up as you reach back behind you, lengthening the side body. And exhale, cartwheel your hands to the ground. Plant your right hand down and lift your left fingertips up to the sky. Exhale, plant your hands, step back into plank, and now you can slowly lower down. Inhale, upward dog. And exhale, downward dog. Add in an extra push-up if you would like. And then we'll inhale, rise up on the toes, bend the knees, look forward, and step to the top of your space. Exhale, pull your chest down closer to your thighs. And then inhale, bend your knees, sweep your arms up overhead, reaching up nice and high. Hold here. Think about really tucking your tailbone, pull the belly button in, and on your next exhale, release the arms out, shake it out a little bit. We'll take one more variation here as we pull all of these pieces together. We're going to bring the hands back to your back again. And this time, step your feet about hip width apart. Bend your knees slightly. And now see how deep you can go. You're going to bend your knees, keep your feet flat on the ground. And then see if you can push your hips forward. See if you can find that hip joint and really try to push them forward. Squeeze your glutes. Maybe your hands stay on your back. And then just see how far you can let yourself fall down. If you don't feel comfortable, then keep your eyes focusing straight up. But notice the deeper you bend into the knees, the deeper you tuck your tailbone and push your hips forward, your eyes might start to travel across the ceiling and back. Now very slowly, keep your knees bent. Think about the strong core that we have created as you exhale forward and fold forward. Now your chest is coming closer down to your thighs. Let the arms just relax. Bend the knees as much as you need to and wrap your arms around the back of your legs as you stretch out your back. Slowly release the arms, straighten out your legs. Inhale to look forward and exhale to plant your hands, step back into plank. Slowly lower down. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, add your extra push-up in here if you'd like as you push up to downward dog. Shake it out a little bit. All right. Inhale, right leg lifts up and then bend your right knee and try to open up your hips as you reach your right toes back around behind you. Maybe you can even flip over, plant that foot onto the ground and really find extension through your back into your flipped over tabletop. Slowly come back as you step your right foot between your hands. We're back into this low lunge. Come up nice and strong. Twist your right fingertips up to the sky. And then slowly come back down. You're going to drop the left knee down. Use the strength in your legs to come up to balance in this half kneeling position. Slowly inhale, reach your arms up overhead. Interlock your thumbs together and see if you can push your arms back as you push your hips forward. Exhale to come back. Inhale, lengthen forward. Exhale back. Inhale forward. Each time, see if you can squeeze your glutes and maybe arch back a little bit further. One more time. Inhale back. Exhale forward. Plant your hands and just see if you can straighten out your front leg. Push your hips back and pull your chest forward. Stretch out your back. And then exhale all the way back. Step back into plank. And you can choose your vinyasa here. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Now let's repeat. The left leg will inhale as you stretch back. Bend the left knee. Try to reach back around behind you as you stretch back. And maybe you can even flip all the way over. Plant your hands and extend your tabletop. And then flip all the way back. Again, just a few options if you're feeling comfortable with these. And then you're going to step your left foot forward. Reach your left fingertips all the way up to the sky. And then slowly come back down and drop your back knee down to the ground. Okay. Let's use the strength in your legs. Find your balance as you lift your torso up. Bring your arms up overhead. Interlock those thumbs together. And here we go with our flow. Inhale as you stretch back. Reach your arms back behind you. Exhale as you push back to half kneeling. Inhale as you squeeze your glutes. Tuck your tailbone. Each time maybe adding a little bit of an extra arch in your back. Inhale forward. And exhale back. Good. So if you're on a different breath, just follow your own breath. And we're going to try just one more, and then we'll meet back in plank. Great job. Let's go ahead and plant the hands. Step back into plank, and you can choose your vinyasa. And we're going to drop the knees all the way down and exhale back into child's pose. Reach your arms out long. Maybe rock your hips side to side. Get a good stretch through your back. And then we'll inhale, slowly roll forward into cobra. And we're going to take this flow here. Exhale, hips back into child's pose. Tuck your chin. Inhale, keep your chin tucked as you roll forward into cobra. We'll try that one more time. Back. Inhale, roll forward, let the chin be the last to come back into cobra, and then from here, just lower all the way down onto your chest, on your back. Okay, we're going back into Bekasana, frog posture. So we now know if you can reach your toes or not. We're going to start with the hamstring curl, but this time I want you to hamstring curl both of your legs. See if you can squeeze your inner thighs together, squeeze your feet together. And then if you can grab onto your toes, you're going to do that. If not, grab onto a strap. See if you can wrap that around and grab onto your strap. Try to relax your head here. Okay. So for this, I just want you to try to think about pulling your toes closer to your hips. We're not quite doing the back bend piece of Dhanurasana yet, but what I do want you to do is see if you can just pull your shoulders back and just start reaching forward. Now, if you have your toes and you can squeeze your glutes, then very slowly start to lift your chest, if that feels okay. And slowly lower back down, and you're just going to windshield wipe your legs side to side, just kind of shake it out a little bit. And then press your hands down into the ground and push your hips back into child's pose. And from child's pose, rock your hips side to side a little bit. So we'll slowly progress. If you're still on that first stage of just learning how to hamstring curl your leg, then that's fine. Just stay there, keep practicing that. If you would like to try a bow posture, then next, again, try to squeeze your glutes to support. You're going to reach back for your feet. See if you can grab onto the arches of your feet. Kick back into your hands as you lift your chest and feel that stretch through the shoulders and the chest. Maybe you can even lift off the ground. But again, this is not the peak posture, so I don't want you to push yourself or do anything that doesn't feel comfortable. So when you're done, you're just going to release whatever you had and let the legs just rock side to side. And then push your hips back into child's pose. Rock your hips side to side. Great. Okay, now we're going to come up to our knees. So this is where you're going to need that cushion that I talked about. This is going to be your peak posture. And I want you to make sure your knees are comfortably pressing into the ground. Just like we did when we were standing, we're going to start with the hands on your back. If you feel at all vulnerable in your back, then I just want you to stay here. Kneeling tall, squeezing your glutes, and just lift your chest up tall. So the first option is to exhale back into child's pose. And then inhale, kneel tall, squeeze your glutes so that your hips stay directly on top of your knees. And just see if you can lean back just a little bit. Exhale back into child's pose very slowly. Take a few breaths here if that feels good. And on your next inhale, slowly come up, set up, squeeze the glutes. Maybe this time you get a little bit closer and you can reach down for your heels or your calves. You're just going to see what can you reach. And again, see if you can look straight up towards the sky. Find a focal point there. Maybe let your head hang. And then on the way up, we're using these core muscles to let your head be the last to come up. Pull your core up strong. And then push your hips back into child's pose. Nice and controlled. Again, rock your hips side to side. We're going to try two more variations. So it's up to you where you are, what you want to work on today. Whichever variation you choose, I want you to think about squeezing the glutes forward. Okay, so from here, make sure your knees are right underneath your hips, shoulders back. Again, you can focus on just pushing your hips forward. You can also focus on interlocking your fingers if you're not doing the back bend, and you can just sort of focus on a light chest opener. And then if you are doing this variation with the fingertips interlocked, then on your exhale, as you push your hips back to child's pose, see if you can lift your arms overhead. And that way you can start working on opening up the chest and the shoulders without compromising your back if you're not ready for that extension yet. Now, when you interlock your fingers, see if you can switch the interlock, the awkward way of holding your hands. And if you even haven't tried this yet, just go ahead and try it with me. Inhale to lift your chest. Again, you're not quite back bending. You're squeezing your glutes and your core, just pulling your chest open. And then exhale, push your hips back into child's pose, but pull your arms up and over your head. And exhale, slowly release. We're going to come all the way forward and lay flat on your stomach on your forearms. So now we're coming into this Sphinx posture. If you were doing some full Ustrasana postures, you might really be feeling in the back. So in this Sphinx posture, I want you to think about squeezing your glutes. Feel them fire up. Lift your chest forward. Make sure your elbows are directly underneath your shoulders as you lift forward. Make sure your strong glutes are keeping your body supported. And then very slowly walk your arms forward and let your right cheek come down to the ground. And then slowly lift back up. We'll come back up into Sphinx. Bring the elbows back. Again, squeeze the glutes. Lift your chest forward. Look straight ahead. And then on your exhale, walk your arms forward and bring your left cheek down to the ground. And then slowly come back up to all fours. And you're going to flip all the way over onto your back. Another back bend option here. So now I want you to press your back into the ground just like we had started this class. As we come into our finishing poses, I want you to see if you can find that pelvic tilt again. Can you still control the core? Dig your heels into the ground, and now see if you can start tilting your pelvis as you squeeze your glutes, tuck your tailbone, and try to lift your hips up as high as you can, and slowly lower back down. So if you do want to learn a back bend, if that's something that is sort of new to you, this is a great way to start practicing engaging the back muscles, is a simple glute bridge to see how high you can squeeze. And if you're feeling something a little bit more rejuvenating, you can take a block and just put it underneath your sacrum and see if you can just relax here. Notice what that feels like to just lift the hips a little bit higher, but to have it be a little bit more rejuvenating. Okay, so we're going to try that one more time. You're going to squeeze up as high as you can. And very slowly lower back down. Good. Let's windshield wiper the legs side to side. Now, of course, we've talked a lot about how our bodies are asymmetrical, and especially we have a dominant side and a non-dominant side. So when you're doing a bilateral movement, you might not notice it, but your stronger side might actually be working harder and sort of compensating for that weaker side. So sometimes it can be helpful to do unilateral movements to see, is one side keeping up its part, right? We got to make sure everyone is doing their job. So to do this, what we're going to do is bring the left knee into the chest and keep the right heel on the ground and see if you can do a glute bridge from there. Notice what it feels like. Notice your hip bones. Are they tilting? Are you kind of barely just getting off the ground? Do you feel any pain or any weakness? And then slowly switch opposite leg. So now bring that right knee into the chest, dig your left heel to the ground, and try on this side. Does it feel the same? Can you keep them even? Do you see any sinkingness, or is it hard to lift yourself up? Notice if you feel a difference on one side versus another. If you do, then the single leg glute bridge is a great way to help strengthen this movement one side at a time. So let's just go ahead and march it out. So we're going to switch legs, try that single leg glute bridge, and then slowly lower back down as you switch legs. Another option could be to hold a static glute bridge. Again, another version of the back bend, a little bit more modest version, and try lifting one leg up at a time without letting your hips move. So don't let them shake or shimmy. You're going to try to keep them up and see if you can just lift one at a time, stabilizing through the glutes, through the core, and make sure you keep your eyes focused on your belly button if you can, or straight up, which will help to keep your neck nice and neutral. And slowly lower back down. We're going to hug the knees into the chest and rock side to side, stretching out the low back, massaging your back into the ground. We did a lot of work with the back today. And next we're going to take this into a shoulder stand. So the other option here, if you're not doing the shoulder stand today, is to take your block, place it underneath your hips, just like we did in the glute bridge. And then you can just lift one leg up or maybe both legs up and just find a nice rejuvenating leg raise here. Okay, you don't even have to keep them straight if you don't want to. You just let them relax. Let the blood flow, especially if you're on your feet all day, just to help flush out the legs. That's the option with the block. Or you can try to lay your arms by your side. Press your hands down into the ground and take a big, deep inhale as you pull your belly button in and lift up towards the sky, and see if you can bring your hands up to your back. So you might be able to find those hip bones that we were talking about today. And if you can, use them to try to lift your body up and then also try to pinch your elbows in towards each other. And a lot of the times in the shoulder stand, the feet come over the head. So before you do that, I want you to try to straighten out as you try to lift your toes up to the sky, squeeze your glutes, and then try to point up a little bit taller. So you're nice and straight. And then notice if your elbows are flaring out, you can try to pinch them in a little bit more. If you feel comfortable here, you can try to slowly lower the toes over the head. And if the toes touch the ground, then you can release the hands over the back. Interlock your fingers and stretch it out. Then the next posture is your oppressor posture, where you try to pull your knees into your ears, squeeze nice and strong, and then very slowly straighten your arms out. And to come out of this, you want to be under control, slowly rolling out like a train, all the way down. And then press your elbows into the ground to lift your chest and bring your head to the ground into Matsyasana, fish posture. It's really important that your arms are pushing down into the ground to lift up so that you're not putting the pressure completely on your head. This is just a great way to stretch out your neck and your chest after all of the crunchiness of the shoulder stand. And then very slowly release back down, and you're just going to turn your head side to side like you're shaking your head no. And then bring your feet to the ground and let your knees rock side to side, like your knees are saying no. And you're just rocking side to side, and then you're going to curl up into a tight ball. Pull your forehead up to your knees. And then slowly lower back down. You're going to bring the soles of your feet together with the knees out wide. Bring your left hand to your heart and your right hand to your belly. Take a few deep breaths in and out. And take note of how your body is feeling after that. Is back bending something new in your practice today? Did you learn a different type of back bending posture that you can start practicing? Just notice how it made you feel. Maybe you even noticed that your right leg is stronger in this glute bridge than your left. And so maybe that is going to be something that you continue to work on. And I want you to take a deep breath in through your nose and a deep breath out of your nose. And in all of these postures, it's really important that you challenge yourself, but you can also maintain your breath. So if you ever find yourself trying to go into a back bend or up into shoulder stand and losing your breath, then that's a sign that you're not ready for it, and maybe you just need some one-on-one practice, which we would love to help you with. And then release the hands, bring them underneath your thighs, and try to help your knees come back up together. And then we'll slowly sink down into Shavasana. We'll practice some breathing. So today we're going to practice a breathing sequence that can be really helpful just throughout the day. Before you eat, it can help you tune into your body to be able to do mindful eating, to make sure you're in tune with your hunger signals and really how you're feeling. So we'll start with a 4-2-6 breathing sequence. Inhale for a count of 4, hold for a count of 2, and exhale for a count of 6. So I want you to set yourself up into whatever position is most comfortable to you. If you need pillows or blankets, take what you need. This is your time for you before you get back into your hectic life. And you can let your arms relax by the side or take any hand mudra that you might feel most comfortable to you. And we'll start with a deep inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 2, 1. Exhale. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Inhale. hold, exhale. Inhale, hold, exhale. And last one, inhale, hold, and exhale it all out. And then slowly start to blink your eyes open, maybe wiggle your fingers and your toes. Just notice how that felt. Maybe it is right before lunch and you're cueing into your hunger signals so that you know what kind of fuel you need for your body in order to get back to a productive day. Let's take a deep inhale as you reach overhead. And then slowly pull your knees into your chest as you exhale and pull your forehead up to your knees, stretching out your back one last time. Rock side to side. Slowly roll onto one side, and then from there you can take your time coming up to a seat. Let's take one more deep inhale together. Reach your arms up overhead. And exhale, release everything out. Thank you so much for coming today. I hope you're feeling more balance between your mind and your body. Today we focused on back bending and opening up the chest and the shoulders. If you have any specific interest in learning something new, make sure you reach out to us. We would love to help you get started with your exercise routine and just help you eliminate any other lifestyle barriers that you're running into. So again, I'm Skylar. Thanks for joining me, and we will see you again next time. Bye.